Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most mysterious and debated books of the Bible, the Book of Revelation. Known for its vivid imagery and apocalyptic visions, Revelation has fascinated and terrified readers for centuries. But what are the most chilling prophecies it contains? And what do they mean for humanity? Let's explore together. The Book of Revelation, written by the Apostle John, is the final book of the New Testament. It's a prophetic text filled with symbolism, warnings, and glimpses of the end times. While some see it as a literal roadmap of the future, others interpret it as a metaphorical message about spiritual battles. Regardless of your perspective, the prophecies in Revelation are undeniably powerful and at times deeply unsettling. Let's start with one of the most iconic and ominous visions in Revelation, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Described in chapter 6, these horsemen represent conquest, war, famine, and death. Each rides a differently colored horse, white, red, black, and pale, and each brings devastation in their wake. The white horseman, often associated with false peace or deception, leads the way. Then comes the red horseman, symbolizing war and bloodshed. The black horseman brings famine. And finally, the pale horseman represents death itself. Together, they paint a grim picture of chaos and suffering that many believe will precede the end of the world. Next, we encounter the great red dragon in chapter 12. This dragon is described as having 7 heads and 10 horns, and it's often interpreted as a symbol of Satan or evil. The dragon wages war against heaven and earth, seeking to destroy God's people. This prophecy reminds us of the ongoing spiritual battle between good and evil. It's a stark warning about the power of darkness, but also a promise that in the end, evil will not prevail. One of the most chilling figures in Revelation is the beast, described in chapter 13. This creature rises from the sea with 10 horns and 7 heads and is given authority by the dragon. The beast represents tyranny, oppression, and a force that opposes God. What makes this prophecy particularly unsettling is the mention of the mark of the beast, often interpreted as a symbol of allegiance to this evil power. Revelation warns that those who take the mark will face eternal consequences, while those who resist will endure great suffering. It's a sobering reminder of the cost of standing firm in faith. Another terrifying series of prophecies in Revelation is the sounding of the 7 trumpets in chapters 8 and 9. Each trumpet blast brings a new wave of destruction, hail and fire, a burning mountain falling into the sea, a star called wormwood poisoning the waters, and darkness covering the sun. The 5th trumpet unleashes locusts that torment humanity, and the 6th trumpet releases an army of 200 million creatures that kill 1/3 of mankind. These visions are filled with chaos and despair, emphasizing the severity of God's judgment. But the judgments don't stop there. In chapter 16, we see the 7 bowls of wrath poured out on the earth. These include painful sores, the sea turning to blood, scorching heat and darkness. The final bowl culminates in a massive earthquake and hailstones weighing about 100 pounds each. Beyond the well-known visions like the 4 horsemen and the beast, the Book of Revelation also contains fascinating details about events many believe are tied to the end times. One of these is the final battle between the forces of good and evil, described in chapter 19. Here, we see the figure of Christ returning as a conquering king, riding a white horse and leading the armies of heaven. This moment, often called the Second Coming, marks the ultimate defeat of evil and the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. This moment, often called the Second Coming, marks the ultimate defeat of evil and the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. Babylon is portrayed as a corrupt system of power, wealth, and immorality that influences the entire world. Its sudden and dramatic destruction is a warning against the dangers of greed, excess, and turning away from spiritual values. Many interpret Babylon as a symbol of worldly systems that oppose God, and its fall serves as a reminder that such systems are temporary and destined for judgment. Revelation also introduces the concept of the 2 witnesses in chapter 11. These figures are described as prophets who will preach God's message during a time of great tribulation. They have the power to perform miracles, such as calling down fire from heaven and turning water into blood. However, they are eventually killed by the beast, only to be resurrected and taken up to heaven. Their story symbolizes the resilience of faith and the ultimate victory of God's truth, even in the face of persecution. One of the most mysterious elements in Revelation is the number 666, often referred to as the number of the beast in chapter 13. This number has been the subject of endless speculation and interpretation. Some see it as a symbol of imperfection or rebellion against God, while others believe it represents a specific person or system in the end times. Regardless of its meaning, it serves as a warning against aligning oneself with forces that oppose divine authority. Finally, Revelation offers a glimpse into the eternal fate of humanity. In chapter 20, we see the concept of the millennium, a 1,000-year reign of Christ on earth. This period is followed by the final judgment, where all people living and dead are held accountable for their actions. Those whose names are written in the book of life will enter the New Jerusalem, while those who reject God face eternal separation from Him. This duality underscores the importance of choices made in this life and their eternal consequences. These prophecies are not just about punishment, they're also a call to repentance. They remind us that our choices have consequences and that there's still time to turn back to God. Amidst all these terrifying visions, Revelation also offers hope. The final chapters describe the New Jerusalem, a city of light where God dwells with humanity. There will be no more pain, no more death, and no more evil. It's a beautiful promise of restoration and eternal peace for those who remain faithful. The prophecies in the book of Revelation are undeniably intense. They warn of suffering, judgment, and the ultimate battle between good and evil. But they also remind us of the importance of faith, perseverance, and hope. Whether you see these prophecies as literal events or symbolic messages, one thing is clear. They challenge us to reflect on our lives, our choices, and our relationship with the divine. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the book of Revelation. If you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on spirituality and faith. Until next time, stay curious, stay faithful, and keep seeking the light. See you soon.